7:30, we'll call the meeting to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Flags on the north end of the building. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Roll call of supervisors.
Belsky. Here. Berg. Here. Beth. Here. Celebrity excused. Decker excused. Franco. Here. Boyd Frederick. Here. Ron Frederick. Here. Yashke. Here. Dent. Here. Grady. Scully. Here. Kubicki. Here. Mauer. Here. Nordigan excused. Nudo excused. O'Day.
Here.
Palmaville. Here. Rodriguez.
Here.
Rose.
Here.
Wamble.
Here.
Winky.
Here.
Yuha. Here.
Okay. Bill might still show up.
Yes.
Okay. How many are here? 18. Recognition of the 2019-2020 Youth and Governance members. Sean, you're going to handle that now? Yes. By Vicki LaFleur is presenting, and a couple of students.
Thank you, Chairman O'Day. Sorry, I'm getting. Thank you, Chairman O'Day. Hello, I am Vicki LaFleur, Youth Development Educator with Kenosha County UW Extension. Tonight will be our 14th group of students to participate in Youth and Governance. We've had 187 youth participate in Youth and Governance. The program started in 2007. On behalf of the Kenosha County Board of Supervisors and Kenosha County UW Extension, we would like to recognize the following youth for their outstanding contributions to Kenosha County through participation in the Kenosha County Youth and Governance Program from May 2019 through May 2020. The program continues to have impact in the city and county of Kenosha. As these youth take the leadership skills and experience they have had with them into their post-high school journey. Kenosha County can be proud that they were an early adopter of including youth in Kenosha County government. Other counties across the country want to replicate our success. Thank you to all the parents of the Youth and Governance members. The support you have given your youth is invaluable. We will now recognize our Youth and Governance members completing their term. Finance and Administration, and we would ask that the mentor please stand. Finance and Administration, Mentor Jeff Gantz. YIG members Olivia Valentine and Martin Bulgavor. Joint Services, Mentor Jenny Tonkes. YIG members Gabrielle Welleman, Tyler Andrew. Judiciary and Law, Mentor Zach Rodriguez. Youth and Governance members Melissa Marachi. Legislative, Mentor John Franco. YIG member Andrew Kernkar, Victoria Desimone. Planning, Development, and Extension Education, Mentor Mike Skalitsky. Youth and Governance members Seth Rosen and Casey Cochran. Public Works and Facilities, Mentor Mark Nordigan. Youth and Governance members Jackson Wilkes and Priscilla Sasa. A tradition with Youth and Governance is to ask current members who have served to share brief remarks about their experience. Youth and Governance members Gabrielle Wellman, a senior at Trimper, and Seth Rosen, a senior at Christian Life, will share brief remarks.
I can go first. This is Seth. If that's all right, Vicky?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I have a very vivid memory of this day last year when I and my fellow youth and governance members were all officially inducted into the program. And I think I remember it so vividly because I was so very nervous. And last year, all I had to do was walk up, say my name, and get a pin. So I hope it's not super obvious that I'm a little nervous right now. I was asked to speak a little bit about what I've taken away from the youth and governance program. And I think what stands out to me the most is that very first orientation, just because I was so extraordinarily nervous. And if you know me, then you know that that doesn't happen very often. Over the past year, I served on the Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee, and I think PDAC is probably the best committee. They don't like me to tell this story, but as part of an extension team building exercise, we got to we got to put together puzzles blindfolded. I won, just in case you were wondering, but basically, that's all to say that I think PDAC is better than the other committees because we do puzzles. But as a part of the committee, I was involved in the interview process for the new youth and governance members. And one of the questions that they asked when we were asking if they had any questions about the program was, what was the hardest part of youth and governance? To which I would usually respond, the orientation. I think orientation was so very nerve-wracking because it was an environment that was completely foreign to me. I remember being terrified that this was what the program would be like through and through, but I know now, having finished the program, that that was the absolute hardest part of the entire thing. I'm giving a speech right now, and I'm not nearly as nervous as I was to simply go up to the microphone last year, say my name and district supervisor, and collect my pin. And I think that says a lot about the program and how much and I'm sure many of my fellow members have gleaned from the experience that the absolute hardest part of the entire thing would be getting started, and that from then on things would only get easier. And I can say with full confidence that I've grown an incredible amount by virtue of this program and am better off for having participated. Thank you.
Now we'll have Gabrielle. Gabrielle.
Vicky, we don't
Yes.
see Gabrielle on.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. Well, thank you, Seth, for sharing your reflections of your experience with youth and governance. Thank you to all the Kenosha County 2019-20 Youth and Governance members. Thank you for your service to Kenosha County. As in the past years, there continues to be tremendous interest in the Kenosha County Youth and Governance Program. We received 132 nominations representing youth from 8 high schools throughout Kenosha County. From those nominations, 37 youth submitted applications for 2020-21. The Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee interviewed 25 youth to recommend 14 names to Chairman O'Day. The new youth and governance representatives have been appointed, oriented, and will join committee meetings soon. We hope the youth will be able to attend an upcoming board meeting to be introduced in person. Thank you.
And Vicky, Gabrielle is now with us.
Okay, thank you.
I am so sorry. I was on my phone. I did not realize you could not hear me. But I just would like to thank Mrs. LaFleur for her amazing efforts and her ability to increase civic engagement within Kenosha's youth and for dedicating so much of her time to such a vital cause. Although I have been fortunate enough to not have my journey with youth and governance end this year, I would still like to take a little time to talk about what YIG has provided for me and my fellow members of the 2019-2020 group. Walking into our first stop during our YIG bus tour was daunting in a way, meeting so many adults whose lives were so dedicated to serving Kenosha County. However, I think all of my fellow members can agree it did not take long to warm up to all of their proud smiles, who all regarded their jobs so highly and were so immensely willing to allow a dozen kids to walk into their office and see their contributions, no matter how seemingly small. Little did we know that was just the beginning of our year-long journey as a part of the boards. We all walked into our first board meeting, most of us excited, some of us terrified of sitting amongst a group of adults who, once again, had dedicated much of their career to the board they were sitting on. Every meeting was like seeing an old friend. We began to know so much about their lives and how our committee worked. Passion grew within each one of us, and each issue became strangely more personal. Every time there was a budget issue, it felt like a blow, or every time our firefighters committed an act of heroism, our board stood in complete admiration. Joint services became like a family to me, the chairman being one of the funniest people I've ever met, and my dear mentor, Mrs. Tunkeys, always seeming like a second mom when my partner and I entered the room. Yet my plethora of opportunities did not stop in the Kenosha County Safety Building. It was just the beginning. I was fortunate enough to be able to be a part of the Census Committee, intern for the Assistant District Attorney, and I was even able to stay in Madison for a week touring the Senate as my position in Kenosha's youth and governance was highly regarded. GEIC has been one of the most rewarding programs I've been a part of and has motivated me to pursue a career in policy and law, as each one of my mentors and committee members had in their own way. Although at times it was daunting or stressful to wrap my adolescent head around all that Kenosha does for its citizens, I've walked out of my first term incredibly thankful and much more appreciative for the city around me and all that it does for me and my committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabrielle. And again, thank you to all of the 2019, 2020 Youth and Governance members. We wish you best of luck on the next journey. Thank you.
Okay. We'll move on to citizens' comments. Any citizens' comments? Step to the podium, state your name, address. You have 5 minutes.
Yeah, my name is Frank Lum. I live out in the town of Wheatland, 4707 376th Avenue. The only reason I'm here tonight is the event.
Check that mic. Is it going? It doesn't.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
The reason I'm here tonight is for the event that took place last meeting. For me, that was very disturbing, and I couldn't help but have to be here at this meeting to express my thoughts as to that lady, Mary Mosier, if I got her name right, to get kind of roughed up in that entryway the way I saw it depicted without audio, only video, is very disturbing to me. The rules need to be put out before the meeting so people know what they are. I since have attended the town of Wheatland meeting. We had limited seating. The rules were out there. People knew that there had to be appropriate spacing. There were no issues. There were other than board members in attendance. Very orderly. I like this setting here. I think maybe this might be in response, but again, the rules have been on the agenda. People could follow them. I want to say a little bit about myself. I'm a son of immigrants. My parents and grandparents came over here after the Second World War. And you know what they heard when they came here? Is how could people like you let a Hitler come into power? They made it their fault. And what do I see today? I see civil liberties being suspended. I'm hearing words like essential this, essential that, and it's all done under some kind of panic thing, legitimate or not. For me, it's come full circle. What kind of excuses are we going to use to suspend certain rights? We can't go that far. We got to do better. I hope I never see what took place last meeting happen in Kenosha County again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other citizens' comments? Hearing none, citizens' comments, sir. You have some?
There was one that was emailed to me this afternoon, and the copy of it is placed on each of the supervisors' desks.
That's right.
Mr. Chairman, I spoke with Mr. Rose today. He asked that his comments be read for the public to see on the video when it's released.
You wanna go to the podium? He's gonna bring the podium up. You wanna bring?
You want me to read them?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Yeah.
He's going to move it all the way up. Or into the microphone.
You want it into the mic or go?
Go to the mic. Go to the mic. Just read his address and name.
The mic, you have to speak right at it.
All right, as I'm sure all of my colleagues here tonight have read this already, this gentleman did send me a text this afternoon asking to make sure that this get read aloud at the meeting tonight. This is from Derek Rose with WISN Channel 12. Their address is 759 North 19th Street in Milwaukee. He says, given there is specific wording in tonight's agenda saying the meeting is open to the public, was the closure of the board meeting on May 5th, 2020 and the subsequent arrest of Mary Magdalene Moser a violation of open meetings law? Will Chairman O'Day or anyone from the board offer an apology to Ms. Moser? Should her citations be dismissed given she was trying to access what legally should have been an open meeting?
Thank you. Any other citizens' comments? Now citizens' comments are closed. I just have a couple of announcements to make. I just want to make a shout out to Jerry Gully for his donation to Brookside for a breakfast for the workers there, I believe last week. And Terry Rose is next in line for a donation he decided to do it to the United Way of Kenosha County. Just want to let you know that. Thank you. Any committee chair supervisor reports? Pull that mic close so you can.
Sure. Some of you may have heard about the incident on Sunday in Petrifying Springs Park in which a 911 call was placed to report a suspicious person jogging in the park at noon on a Sunday. When asked by the dispatcher what was suspicious about this person, the caller would not say. A sheriff's deputy responded to the call and determined that the complaint was completely unfounded. The deputy spoke to the jogger and even apologized to him for the hassle. The jogger was an African American. I've spoken to the jogger, and I don't want to mention his name, but I do want to mention his extremely positive attitude and belief that our citizens should not be judged by the actions of a few bad apples. I also want it to be known that harassment of our citizens out enjoying our county parks or in any setting will not be tolerated. I will be seeking out information from the 911 dispatch, and the goal is ticketing the harassing caller. The jogger has been very hesitant to make this story known than it already is, more well known than it already is, for fear that it will turn into something extremely divisive. In his words, 95% of the people that I pass while jogging wave and smile at me. Unfortunately, he now feels the need to purchase a body camera to wear while jogging. Fortunately, this is not the norm for Kenosha County, but I would like it to be known now that any incident like this will not be tolerated and will be followed up upon.
Thank you. Any other supervisors? Hearing none. New business?
New business, ordinance number 2, one reading. From the Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee, an ordinance regarding John P. Lorigan Trust owner requesting an amendment to the adopted land use plan map for Kenosha County, 2035, map 65 of the comprehensive plan from farmland protection to farmland protection, general agricultural and open land, and suburban density residential in the town of Harris. From the Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee, Gashke, yes. Mauer, yes. Nudo, yes. Rodriguez, yes. Beth, yes.
Supervisor Gasky.
I move ordinance 2.
Seconded by Supervisor Mauer. You want to step to the podium then?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This property is located on the west side of County Highway D, approximately a quarter-mile south of County A. The comprehensive plan amendment would allow an amendment to the adopted land use plan map for Kenosha County, 2035, map 65 of the comprehensive plan. Changing this from farmland protection to farmland protection, general agricultural and open land, and suburban density residential. The town of Paris recommended approval of this request, as well as our committee. I'd urge your support tonight.
Any discussion on the ordinance? Seeing none, all those in favor, please raise your arm. All those opposed, please raise their arm. Carried. Thank you.
Ordinance 3 from Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee, an ordinance regarding John P. Lorigan, Lorigan Trust owner, requesting a rezoning from A1 Agricultural Preservation District to A1 Agricultural Preservation District, A2 General Agricultural District, R2 Suburban Single Family Residential District, C1 Lowland Resource Conservancy District, and PUD Planned Unit Development Overlay District in the town of Paris. From Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee, Gaschke, yes. Mauer, yes. Nudo, yes. Rodriguez, yes. Beth, yes.
Supervisor Gaschke.
I move ordinance 3.
Seconded by Supervisor Rodriguez. Supervisor Gaschke.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is the same property. This property is located the west side of County Highway D, approximately a quarter-mile south of County Highway A. And this rezoning would allow the land division of 4 parcels. The town of Paris has recommended approval of this request, and again, our committee has, and we recommend this to you tonight.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please raise your arm. Any opposed? Please raise your arm. Carried. Thank you. Number 4.
Ordinance 4 from the Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee, an ordinance regarding Michael J. and Ann M. Grossman, owner, requesting an amendment to the adopted land use plan map for Kenosha County, 2035, map 65 of the comprehensive plan. From general agricultural and open land, primary environmental corridor, and non-farmed wetland, to general agricultural and open land, rural density residential, primary environmental corridor, and non-farmed wetland in the town of Brighton. In Planning, Development, Extension Education Committee, Gaschke, yes. Mauer, yes. Nudo, yes. Rodriguez, yes. Beth, yes.
Supervisor Gaschke.
I move ordinance 4.
Moved ordinance 4, seconded by Supervisor Beth. Supervisor Gaschke.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This property is located on the west side of County Highway D, approximately a quarter-mile south of County Highway A. The comprehensive plan amendment would allow an amendment to the adopted land use plan map for Kenosha County, 2035, map 65 of the comprehensive plan, from general agricultural and open land, primary environmental corridor, and non-farmed wetland, to general agricultural and open land, rural density residential, primary environmental corridor, and non-farmed wetland on tax parcel number 34-220-344-0406, located in the southeast quarter of section 34 T2N R20E, town of Brighton. The town of Brighton does recommend approval of this request, as well as our committee. Thank you.
Any discussion on the floor? Hearing none. All those in favor, raise your arm, please. Opposed? Raise your arm. Carried. Thank you.
Ordinance 5 From Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee, an ordinance regarding Michael J. and Ann M. Grossman, owner, requesting a rezoning from A2 General Agricultural District, C2 Upland Resource Conservancy District, and C1 Lowland Resource Conservancy District to A2 General Agricultural District, R1 Rural Residential District, C2 Upland Resource Conservancy District, and C1 Lowland Resource Conservancy District, Town of Brighton. From the Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee, Gashke, yes. Mauer, yes. Nudo, yes. Rodriguez, yes. Beth, yes.
Supervisor Gashke.
Yes, I move resolution 2.
Moved, seconded by Supervisor Mauer.
We're on are we on ordinance 5?
I'm very sorry.
5.
I move ordinance 5.
5.
Who seconded?
Mauer.
Okay, thank you. This property is located on the west side of County Highway D, approximately a quarter mile south of County Highway A, one of the properties we've already talked about. The rezoning would allow the land division of 2 parcels. The town of Brighton recommends approval of this request, as well as our committee. Thank you.
Any discussion on the ordinance? Hearing none. All those in favor, say, raise their arm. Opposed? Raise their arm. Carried. Thank you.
Resolution 2, one reading. From the Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee, a resolution regarding John P. Lorigan Trust, owner, requesting an amendment to the adopted land use plan map for Kenosha County, 2035, map 65 of the comprehensive plan from farmland protection to farmland protection, general agricultural, and open land, and suburban density residential in South Paris. Gashke, yes. Mauer, yes. Nudo, yes. Rodriguez, yes. Beth, yes.
Supervisor Gashke.
Yes, thank you. I now move resolution 2.
Seconded by Supervisor Rodriguez.
All right, thank you. This property, again, is located on the west side of County Highway D, approximately a quarter mile south of County Highway A. The state requires a resolution from our committee and an ordinance from the full county board to amend the comprehensive plan. This resolution would allow an amendment to the Kenosha County Comprehensive Plan for a change from farmland protection to farmland protection, general agricultural and open land, and suburban density residential. The town of Paris recommends the approval of this request, as well as our committee.
Any discussion on this ordinance? Hearing none. All those in favor, raise their arm, please. Thank you. All those opposed, raise their arm. Carried. Thank you.
Resolution 3, from the Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee, a resolution regarding Michael J. and Ann M. Grossman, owner, requesting an amendment to the adopted land use plan map for Kenosha County, 2035, map 65 of the comprehensive plan, from general agricultural and open land, primary environmental corridor, and non-farmed wetlands, to general agricultural and open land, rural density, residential, primary environmental corridor, and non-farmed wetland in the town of Brighton. Gashke, yes. Mauer, yes. Nudo, yes. Rodriguez, yes. Beth, yes.
Supervisor Gashke.
I move resolution 3.
Seconded by Supervisor Mauer.
This property is located on the west side of County Highway D, approximately a quarter mile south of County Highway A. The state also requires a resolution from our committee and an ordinance from the full county board to amend the comprehensive plan. This resolution would allow an amendment to the Kenosha County Comprehensive Plan for a change from general agricultural and open land, primary environmental corridor, and non-farmed wetland to general agricultural and open land, rural density residential, primary environmental corridor and non-farmed wetlands on tax parcel number 30-4-220-344-0406, located in the southeast quarter of Section 34, T2N, R20E, Town of Brighton. The Town of Brighton does recommend approval of this request as well as our committee.
Any discussion on the ordinance? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your arm. Opposed? Carried, thank you. Is this,
Resolution 4,
did you talk to Franco about that one? Grade is not here. Okay.
all right. Resolution 4 from the Public Works and Facilities and Finance and Administration Committees, a resolution authorizing the submission of a Transportation Economic Assistance, T, grant application to the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. From Public Works and Facilities, Grady, yes. Franco, yes. Belsky, yes. Berg, yes. Rodriguez, yes. Nudo, yes. Palmaville, yes. From Finance and Administration, Rose, yes. Gens, yes. Frederick, yes. Wamble, yes. Kubicki, yes. Uhas, yes. Franco, yes.
I have a motion by Supervisor Franco, seconded by Supervisor Rose. I was not aware that, Brady was not going to be here. It didn't inform me. I don't have any language to read. Okay. So what do we do on that? Huh? I can't hear you. What? Supervisor Rose can speak. Okay. Does he have the language? Supervisor Rose, do you have the language with you? Do you have the language, Supervisor Rose?
I could present it. Do you want me to say something about it?
Yes.
The resolution before you involves the economic development project, which was widely publicized in the newspaper, called the Kroger Fulfillment Network. It's the opening of a very large grocery warehouse fulfillment center using some high-tech technology, which is apparently going to be the wave of the future, and the future is going to be brought here to Kenosha County. So what is our role here? It's to apply for a grant with matching funds if the project is ultimately approved by the state. It is anticipated that the cost of the project, as the resolution indicates, is $1,701,000, and that the county and the state of Wisconsin Department of Transportation would be both contributing to that cost. This was reviewed by both of the committees, and of course, if the state does not approve of the grant, the county's grant would not, the county's money would not be matched. So this is a matching proposition.
So it's
we urge your approval this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Any discussion on the motion? Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, raise your arm. Any opposed? Carried. Thank you. Communications.
Communications 2 from Andy M. Bueller regarding future items scheduled before the Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee.
Receive and file.
Claim 3, Mary Verzel, violation of rights.
Refer to Corporation Council.
The approval of the May 5th, 2020 minutes by Vice Chair Uhas.
Mr. Chairman, move to approve as written the May 5th, 2020 minutes.
Second, all right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Motion to adjourn? Second. All those in favor? Aye. Carried. Thank you.